Hi, this is Sarah Rayner from craftingandstamping.com and I'm here with this month's little thank you card. It's a simple card with just an insert that's been stamped in the bottom corner, and we're using this stamp, Thanks So Much, and this is from the It's a Wrap occasion set. So to get started, we're going to need some raspberry ripple card, and that's cut at 3.5 inches square card base, primrose petals, and that is cut at 3.25 inch square, and a 3-inch square of Whisper White. We're also going to need a 3.25 inch square of Whisper White for the insert. We're going to start by stamping the Thanks So Much onto a Stamp-A-Majig so that we can position it correctly on the card front. It doesn't matter which colour we use for using on the Stamp-A-Majig, so I'll just use the first colour that we're going to ink up anyway for the card. And to use the Stamp-A-Majig, we simply slide the positioning sheet into the corner, and then holding that there, position the stamp into the corner, slide it down and stamp it onto the sheet. Then to get the stamp in the position that you want, we simply place it on the card front so that it's just where we want it, and I'm positioning it up in the top right corner to start. Put the T-square in place, slide away the positioning sheet, ink the stamp again, into the corner, slide down and remove. We're going to position the other stamp, the same stamp in the other corner. So again, get it in position where we want it on the card front. Carefully lift the positioning sheet away, ink the stamp, slide down and stamp it. And that's our rolled olive. Finally, we're going to ink the stamp once more. We don't need to position it this time. We're just wanting this centre area which we'll be punching out. So I'm just going to stamp that near to the edge. Now I'm just going to go and clean the stamp before we start using the primrose petals. So I'm using primrose petals this time, and I'll ink the stamp up ready. Again, we're using the imaging sheet, and we don't actually need to worry that it's a different colour. We're just going to position that now in the centre of our two old olive versions. When we're happy that we've got that in the right position, pop the T-square in place, remove the positioning sheet, ink up and press down. And there we have our card front. Now we're going to use the Petite Curly Label punch and punch out the centre sentiment that we stamped earlier. And we also want 2 Petite Curly Label shapes punched from Primrose Petal card, and you only need a small scrap for this. Now we're going to use the small flower, and this is from a trio of small punches. I'll put the details up on screen, and we're just going to punch out 2 of these little flowers from some raspberry ripple card. I'm going to just bend the petals around my thumbnail just to give them a little bit of movement, and then we can start to assemble the card. I'm just going to use snail to put the layers together. And we're going to position the primrose petals there, make sure that the card is opening the right way. Position the primrose petals square in the centre of the Raspberry Ripple card front. And then our main card front goes in the centre of that. All the layers are going flat at the moment. And we've just flipped that over to press down from the back so we don't smudge the ink. Now we're going to use some dimensionals to attach the other elements. And you just need a dimensional on the back of each of these petite curly labels. We're going to put the two primrose petal ones in the centre of the Old Olive stamps, and then we're going to take the Old Olive sentiment and pop that in the centre of the Raspberry Ripple, of the primrose petals stamp, like that. To attach the flowers, I'm just going to pop a tiny dot of Tombow multi-purpose glue, or you could use mini glue dots, and then I'm going to position the two little flowers in the centre like that. And to just finish that, we're going to take some pearls, some jewels, and just lift these and pop them in the centre of the flowers. I'm using the medium size here. Like that. And once they're in place, you can just curl up the flower again around the pearl. To finish, we're simply going to stamp again on the insert using the same stamp and the primrose petals ink again. And this time we're going to stamp off the edge of the card, just catching the edge like that. And then we'll use snail to attach that to the inside of the card, centrally like that. Again, turn and press from the back so that you don't smudge any wet ink. And there is our card for this month. Thank you, and if you'd like to order, please go along to craftingandstamping.com. Thank you very much.